Hi, Sagittarius-Capricorn Cusp Collective. Welcome back to Cusp of Roses for your general love reading. I hope that this live finds you in the highest vibration possible, and I thank you guys so much for all the love you do show here on my channel. And as always, I hope that these weekly readings give that love right on back out to you all. Before we get started, make sure you head over to my community tab, okay? I do have a new poll up there that I need your feedback on, so go ahead and cast your vote on whether or not you would be willing to join a channel membership here where depending on the tier, you get different perks here for my channel and for my website. And then we will have a weekly Q&A live stream just for members only, where you guys can submit a quick yes or no question and I will pull a 1 to 3 card spread on it, and that'll happen every week, okay? And then there'll be some additional bonuses, you know, depending on the tier. So make sure you guys go ahead and cast your vote on what you'd be willing to do. If it's a yes, it's a yes. If it's a no, it's a no. No harm, no foul either way, okay? Definitely won't be hurting my feelings if you say no. But if you are interested, make sure you go ahead and cast that vote, okay? Sagittarius, Capricorn, Cusp Collective. Let's go ahead and give up some gratitude in our space. Whether that be through your favorite affirmations, intentions, prayers, meditation, maybe breath work practices, or a moment of silence or stillness, or a combination of any of those methods. Do what feels best for you in the now moment. I'm going to do the same, and then we will get started. Divine Mother, Heavenly Father, Holy Spirit, my ascended ancestors, the ascended masters, and all holy angels, I thank you so much for being here with me and with the Sagittarius Capricorn Cusp Collective of Energy here on YouTube for their general love reading. I thank you so much, Divine, for clearing my energy and allowing me to connect with the most important messages and channel the most important messages here for Sagittarius, Capricorn, Cusp energies regarding their love life. Whatever love connections they may be a part of, romantically, what they just need to know, what's coming towards them, anything that's most important, Divine, we ask that it come forward in this reading. And we thank you so much for your clear guidance, your grace, your love, your mercy, your protection, the support you bring, the peace you offer, and the presence with us now. We love you, and so it is. All right, these cards are ready to talk here. Sagittarius, Capricorn, Cuspers. And even if you're not a Cusper, welcome here, okay? You definitely can resonate with these messages. Tell me more about this love energy here for Sagittarius, Capricorn. What do they have going on here? What messages? Break up. Okay, Sagittarius, Capricorn. So time apart is on the horizon. This may be short-term or long-term. Sagittarius, Capricorn. You have inner fear, so it does feel like this breakup was for a purpose, for maybe you or your partner or both guys to face some hidden fears or face what was coming up in the connection. One more. Ooh. Children. Oh, wow. Okay, it says children are a significant factor in your love life. This may signify the desire of them or someone's inner child needing attention. And I think that's also maybe mirrored here with these inner fears. Okay, so someone definitely, or maybe both of you, have some inner child healing and or wounding that needs to be addressed here. Okay. And I think the Divine is offering you both time apart, whether this is short-term or long-term, in order to do that healing work, in order to face these shadow energies, yeah? And a lot of you, this will be based and rooted in your inner child. So I just hear like unlearning patterns, okay? Learning how to listen to your inner child, learning how to connect with that energy might be important, okay? Something about your inner child energy here might be based in fear and or really susceptible or vulnerable to that fear energy. I almost get the image of like a child back in a corner, almost being bullied by a shadow. like a shadow energy. Like fear would represent the shadow, but it's like hesitant and scared and kind of backed into a corner. It's like that's almost where some of your inner childs are. And it's like your inner child needs you to go rescue them almost, okay? And maybe there was some aspect of this relationship or connection where rather than facing your own inner fears, it was like you were either trying to address the inner fears in the other person, or you both were maybe using the connection to avoid facing what this inner child wounding or these feelings are, okay? Or these fears are, excuse me. Thank you so much, Divine. Now, children being a significant factor in your love life with the inner fears and the breakup, it just it just feels like, yeah, someone's inner child is holding them back in loving someone or being an active participant in a connection, okay? Because the inner fear says, as you face your inner fears, you recognize what is holding you back from attracting a healthy and loving relationship with others and yourself, right? So it just feels like someone in this connection just still has a little bit of self-work to do in order to show up in whatever this connection is, okay? And it does feel like either your partner Sagittarius or you are giving this person the space to do this work, okay? Ooh, my nose is getting itchy, so that might be the case there. Before I even move forward, I forgot to get your incense going. Give me 1 second. Okay. Thank you so much, Divine. Tell me more about this breakup, inner fears, and children. The Wheel of Fortune wanted to flip over. Okay. But, so it does feel like if this is somebody that, again, I do feel like you are separate from, that there will be a time for you guys to come back together, okay? But let's see. Tell me more about this breakup here for Sagittarius-Capricorn. Yeah, the Tower. So this was definitely like an unexpected shift, but it was divinely guided. It was divine intervention, this breakup, because you both needed to go off and do the work here with the inner fears and the children, okay? The inner child healing. Tell me more. Yeah, Two of Cups. So yeah, the divine definitely split you guys apart here. Again, with the Two of Cups, it's like someone was either overgiving or overly dependent, and you see how the masculine is reaching for the feminine's cup. It's like someone was a little too dependent on the other person based on whatever these inner child wounds were, okay? So this could be like a breakup in a connection that was very codependent, okay? Just had a level of toxic codependency that the divine had to shift apart so that someone could recognize how they were holding themselves back, okay? Now, for some of you, just based off of that information alone, I'm not necessarily sure that this will come back around. I just feel like maybe whatever was happening in that connection and the breakup and whatever that brought out of you, Sagittarius, or of this person was intentional and it was meant, especially with the Tower here. And it just feels like it maybe was something that had to happen in order for you both to grow on your own individual journey. So not necessarily sure that it will come back around. Because I think what's most important here is that this connection or the breakup in this connection taught you how to love yourself or taught this person how to love themselves. Okay? Yeah, Nine of Wands. Yeah, it just feels like this connection, okay, got exhausting to some degree. It was taking a lot of spiritual strength to maybe stay in it to avoid this Tower, okay? Or someone was just very, very committed here with the Knight of Wands. It's what I get. It's like they were willing to put up with whatever this person was putting them through, and or, you know, just willing to just still stand in it. And so that's why the divine would say, okay, let's orchestrate this Tower, because if they don't, this person's going to be at the 10 and overwhelmed and overly burdened and at the point of no return almost. Do you see what I'm saying? And okay, that just can't, not that some, well, not that someone was maybe trying to break your spirit, Sagittarians. That's a very, very strong statement, but that came like straight in, like with the Nine of Wands, right? It's usually depicted as someone who's wounded, someone who's like taken a bit of a beating here, in the traditional Rider-Waite tarot, but still standing. So it's like I've taken a beating. I got a bandage on my head. I'm bleeding from my neck. All of that. I got bruises and scars, but I'm still willing to go through it. I'm still standing. It's like I think the divine here in this situation knew that one person wasn't going to set the proper boundaries with the other person. And this is what I was saying. This is exhaustion. The Nine of Wands. This is just really being tired, right? Trying to keep too many plates spinning, trying to almost like hold up this whole connection on your shoulders, on your own, which is why, again, it's like the divine maybe ushered in this tower before it got to the 10, where you truly were carrying the weight, the spiritual weight of this connection. And I just feel like whoever that is, the other person, I don't want to say they knew what they were doing, but again, maybe due to this wounding and these interferes and this kind of combination of energy, it's okay. I'll say it like this. Something about the willingness to kind of go through the beatings, go through the, now, if this person was physically abusive with you, Sagittarians, I do not mean to trigger you. But you would know, okay? Because I'm kind of picking up on that. That could be for some of you. And it's just like the divine knew that this mix just wasn't healthy. It just wasn't healthy. Because neither one of you, I feel like, had a healthy relationship with self, but it was like that was what almost made the connection work. Whatever your inner child woundings was almost like complemented this person's inner child wounding. So you both were just kind of feeding into it without really knowing it. And I feel that, which is why the tower would have to come, right? And this is what I'm saying. It's like someone was just still standing after all of it, like still maybe having a little bit of hope, still feeling like there's more room, more to do, that they could do more. But I think the divine put a stop to that, because it doesn't feel like, and just to put it on energy, it doesn't feel like this masculine energy was going to stop pulling from this feminine energy. Okay. And it feels like the feminine energy wasn't going to stop the masculine either. So again, that's what I'm saying. It's like, it was toxic. End of the day, it was toxic. Okay. Tell me more about this breakup for Sagittarius-Capricorn. Yeah. 8 of Wands. So a shift needed to happen. Changes needed to happen. Something needed to shift. Okay. And this is what I'm saying. This breakup, long-term or short-term, okay, has to happen, or had to happen here, in order for someone to really even see just how wounded and beaten and battered they were. Like, I just feel like this person just didn't even have the self-awareness to notice the changes that were happening in them, or to notice just how bruised they were, or how much weight they were carrying in this connection. Just I don't feel like someone was that conscious of self. Do you know what I mean? And especially if this is inner child wounding, it's like someone might have learned that going through the ringer like this is how you show love. You know what I mean? Like, just going through whatever, being down, like almost like a ride or die type of thing, is like how you show love. So yeah, they might be beating me, but I know they don't mean it, and I know they love me. It's like someone might have seen that and equated that as, okay, that's what a true love connection is, right? But again, I think this breakup had to happen for someone to, again, shift out of that and shift into a new awareness and reality around, again, the lack of boundaries with self, the lack of maybe standards. And for inner child energy, for this children energy, I just feel like this person didn't know any better. Do you know what I mean? Like, it really, truly didn't know any better, didn't even know that that was unhealthy. So I feel like that's the type of situation here that you're dealing with or have dealt with, Sagittarians. Tell me more. Yeah. Ace of Cups. So this shift, Eight of Wands, was to realign with what love actually is. That starts with self, like this card says, right? Healthy and loving relationship with others and yourself. So really stepping into a new heart space, a new awareness around what love really feels like, what it really looks like, what's healthy, what does the divine say about love, right? And then realizing, I think for the Nine of Wands and the Eight of Wands, realizing the difference between the two. So this is why, again, the Tower had to come in, divine intervention had to happen in order for someone to fill their own cup of love up first, in order for someone to learn how to love themselves. Okay? All right, let's look into these inner fears. Thank you so much, Divine. Tell me more about these inner fears for Sagittarius-Capricorn. Knight of Swords, yeah. As you face your inner fears, you recognize what's holding you back from attracting a healthy and loving relationship with others and yourself. I just heard fear of conflict. And this is what I mean. Okay, my words. This is a connection that I'm tapping into where, again, I feel like somebody was very aware of what someone's wounds were or insecurities were or fears were when it comes to love. And someone might have played on that, or subconsciously you both were playing into each other's fears. Okay, and I just hear fear of conflict, Knight of Swords, fear of speaking up, fear of saying no, especially if this was more or less like, you know, Nine of Wands, like going through the ringer, having to find the spiritual strength, like we'll get through it, like, you know, someone just not realizing that they're being beaten over the head. Do you know what I mean? Thinking that that's love. Tell me more about this inner fears and the Knight of Swords. Yeah, the Knight of Cups. It feels like one person was always kind of ready to spar with the Knight of Swords, maybe very harsh with their words, very maybe verbally abusive here, Knight of Swords. And then the other, it's like no matter what though, someone else just continued to offer their cup. This is what I'm saying. It's like there was a lack of boundaries and there was a mismatch in where each person kind of how they express love, or, you know, what they equated as love. It just was a mismatch, but it did form something toxic that clearly the divine had to crumble, right? Knight of Swords would also say that someone moved, like I said, someone moved from a space of strategy, was more like mentally motivated, and then someone was more or less moving from their heart. So with this Ace of Cups, it would mean that someone had to learn how to offer that cup to themselves first, before they allow someone else to reach for their cup or use their cup or have their cup. Okay? Tell me more about these inner fears. Yep, the Empress. I'm getting a mother here, so this could be mother wounds, especially with children being here. Yeah, I feel like the inner fears, like, and again, this is what I'm saying, maybe both of these people had very dysfunctional dynamics with their own mother. So this was like a mothering wound that made this bond, so almost like a trauma bond, I'll say, between two people. Oh, my mother maybe used to verbally abuse me, whatever the case may be. My mother was overly affectionate, overly, like, do you see what I'm saying? This would be like, if there's a mother energy or mother wounds, this would be like the mother who makes their son almost kind of like the man of the house type of figure, or almost treats them almost like their husband or their boyfriend. Like, not in a sick sexual way, but just emotionally dependent on their son in that way, right? So that would be one person. And then it would be maybe a mother who was very harsh with their words, and I'll say towards the daughter. maybe just very verbally abusive, or just, shrewd and, critiquing and all of that type of stuff. So I think that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's almost was like a perfect storm of two traumas, right? Two wounds that fed into each other. But I feel like they were both centered around mother energy, mother figures. This could also be Venus though, right? Venus being in retrograde till the 29th of January. Getting you Sagittarians, and I guess we'll just focus here on you, getting you or maybe someone in this connection to face what the truth of this connection was, what was holding you back, okay? Or maybe how this breakup served you well, right? How this tower was needed because this connection in this relationship and or the energy between you and this person was holding you back from really learning about healthy loves, because it just wasn't healthy. It just wasn't healthy. Okay? Okay. Tell me more about these inner fears. Thank you. Page of Wands. Let me pull this down here. Yeah, so this would say that Venus here is getting some of you to go back again to your inner child. Okay? Like I said, they gave me, my guides gave me that clear picture of a child, like, cowering in the corner, crying, like, shaking, like, really so afraid of this shadow presence over them. And like I said, some of you have to go back and rescue that inner child within you who's afraid. Because I feel like here, Sagittarians, your true authentic vibration for your inner child is this Page of Wands. Okay? Very, very excited, very much so confident in their abilities, right? Confident in what they can do, just very sure of self. That's what a Page of Wands energy, their learning energy, right? Very influential, just shifts the room, knows how to be themselves. It's just natural for the Page of Wands, right? And even for the Nine of Wands, it's like, this is what's telling me, like I said, with the Nine of Wands, this is kind of like getting beaten over the head or just constantly carrying some sort of spiritual weight. That spiritual weight started as a youth. You learned about carrying other people's energy as a youth. Okay? Overall message here for the inner fears for Sagittarius. Yeah. Lovers. Venus, right? It's Gemini in this particular deck. But it's the year of the lover, right? It's the year of 6. I think that this is what this year might be about for you, Sagittarians. Like, really, really freeing your inner child from that corner. Okay? And I want to say that this, with the lovers being Gemini energy, it is a mirror. This is what I'm saying. It's like you were maybe playing out or acting out whatever this kind of, and I'll say it, karmic energy between you and a mother figure, and or yeah, whatever energy was played out in your childhood, it's like you were playing it out in your relationships with other people. It's how you were going about connecting with others, because again, it's like that's what you learned energetically, picked up and absorbed. Okay? And again, like I said, I feel like this is why you and this person, it was like two wounds matching each other. Because maybe you both are Pages of Wands, your inner childs are maybe both Pages of Wands, but it's like I said, one person was berated, verbally abused, someone else was more emotionally abused. which made you both the perfect pair to sort through that type of energy, right? Or to highlight what these inner fears are, what these wounds are. Okay. Tell me more about children for Sagittarians. What is this inner child healing? Yep, the star. Healing. Alignment. Okay. Needing attention. This is tending to yourself. This is pouring out those toxic emotions. This is refilling your cup with love, right? Awareness. Getting back in tune with this. Ace of Cups. I also want to say that for some of you, this break, like I said, this breakup was a gift. I don't know if I said that or not, but it's like this breakup was a gift from the divine. Yeah. But I feel like in this energy with the healing, the inner child wounds, it's like that Aquarian energy. We're moving into Aquarius season. It's being able to look and analyze what you felt as opposed to live it out, right? That would be that Page of Wands energy. They are very reactive and responsive to the energy around them. So rather than being the sponge, do you know what I mean? Or what there's a saying? It's like rather than being the thermometer in situations, it's like being the thermostat. That's what this star card is like giving me. You set the temperature for what you want to feel. You are in control of your emotions and how you go about this. It's like taking back control almost, like I said, going to protect that inner child that's cowering in the corner, scared. Okay? Tell me more about the star energy for children. Some of you might resonate with being star seeds. That might be something that you've either been researching or that you identify with, okay? But I do feel like that there's some validity to that energy in how your life has patterned out, because these are heavy soul lessons for sure. Yeah. So it's almost like this connection or this situation was destined to happen, yeah, in order for you to find your happiness, in order for you to really take charge and take control and be accountable for making yourself happy. Again, so breaking some sort of codependency here is what this just feels like. And it goes deeper than just the codependent romantic relationships you've had. It's like really analyzing and seeing how that codependency plays out in other connections, or who's codependent on you in that way. So it's almost like here, especially with the Ace of Cups, Sagittarians, it's just super important to make sure that you're putting your emotional well-being first, that you're putting yourself first here. Making sure that you're getting your wish fulfillment here, that you're keeping your goals, what's best for you, in the forefront. Okay? Tell me more about this inner child healing for Sagittarians. Yeah. Eight of Pentacles. So it's definitely something that I feel like you're going to work at, right? That you've been working at. And I think you're in the final stages of really fine-tuning that energy, because what comes after this Eight of Pentacles is the Nine of Pentacles, right? Where there's no more work to be done necessarily on self. And that's not to say you never have to work on yourself, no, but it's just fixing what this was. You see what I'm saying? This energy here with the inner fears and whatever this breakup brought out of you, whatever these karmic patterns that you had to face within yourself, it's like that's one pentacle, and that's what you're focused on right now. Do you know what I mean? Working out the kinks, fine-tuning it all, shining it up, so that you're ready for that Nine of Pentacles energy. So these inner fears no longer hold you back from having, like it says, having healthy and loving relationships. Because in essence here with the Star card, the Eight of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups, you've learned how to love yourself. You've learned what makes you happy. You've learned how to focus in on your joy, your peace. You've learned that, right? Now, for some of you, there's still probably some more work to be done, and there's no shame in that. We all, again, like I said, we all cycle through having to do that. That's not just a one and done situation in life. There are going to be more situations that pull you back and you got to work through it, right? But it just feels like this particular one, Sagittarius, you're finally getting to the other side of, which is beautiful to see. So congratulations to everybody who has been putting in that work to work towards their own happiness, their own fulfillment, to fulfilling their own dreams, right? And no longer perpetuating the pattern, because that's just what it feels like. What else is going on with this inner child healing, divine? Yeah, the Fool. Working towards a new beginning. New perspective, a new lease on life, right? A whole new chapter for you, Sagittarians. I think there's also a bit of compassion that you have to extend to yourself, Sagittarians, because again, you were a child. I could feel that you were a child. You didn't know, right? It's like I literally just posted that on my Instagram. You don't know what you don't know until you know it. That's that Fool energy. I don't know what's on the other side of this cliff, and I won't know until I get there. And it feels like this connection is what brought you there, brought you to see and to analyze and to be in the energy and to learn what you didn't know. Page of Wands. To learn what you didn't know about your connections. Okay? All right, so what's the overall message here for Sagittarius? Yeah. Knowing what you didn't know. The Hangman. Seeing it from a different point of view. No longer being held at the foot or bound by these fears. Like I said, some of you have put in the work to go get that inner child that's in the corner, that's scared to maybe speak up for themselves, that's scared to receive or give love, whatever this may be, because this is definitely going to be varied, these inner fears. But it's like you put in the work to self-enlighten, right? Like I said, you put in the work to love yourself, to see it from a different point of view, to not carry on the pattern. Well, my parent treated me like that, so I'm going to treat you. See what I'm saying? You did the work. Point blank, period. You did the work, Sagittarius. And now you have the enlightenment. Now you get to see it from a different perspective, and not only see it from a different perspective, but use that perspective in a whole new chapter. Start a whole new cycle. So no longer being stuck in this karmic wheel. Like, I just feel like that's changed. Because remember the Wheel of Fortune? Wow, the Wheel of Fortune came out. Wanted to flip over at the very beginning of this reading. So that wheel is turning in your favor because you've done the work. All right? Now, some of you, this might be a very active situation. Like, you've just had a breakup with someone who was maybe very toxic for you. And so this is going to be your journey. So there's definitely hope, right? There's definitely hope on the other side of this process here for you, Sagittarius. So don't give up on yourself. Keep going, right? Keep learning, keep studying, keep putting your joy, happiness first and foremost. I used to say this during my daily reads a lot. It's like, put yourself at the top of your to-do list every single day. Every single day. Some of you learned how to put other people first. Put yourself at the top. Make sure you have all your 9 cups shined up, filled, sitting pretty, in alignment, before you extend that energy out and let that love and that attention flow out to anyone else. Okay? And that's not selfish. It's not selfish to take care of yourself, Sagittarius. It's not selfish at all. No matter what you were taught, it's not selfish. Okay? All right. Sagittarius, this was an absolutely very beautiful reading. Okay? I am sending you all so much love, light, strength, and courage to get through these inner fears, to go rescue your inner child from that corner, and to really do the work to make yourself happy. Okay? Because this is intense. Like, this is definitely not an easy lesson learned, but you're learning it, you're doing it, you'll continue to do it. I definitely believe in all of you. So definitely let me know at the comment section below if any of this resonated, what you connected with. Okay. Make sure you go vote on that poll on my community board, all right, so that I can maybe start the membership as soon as possible for those that would be interested in that weekly live Q&A. But definitely let me know your thoughts, and I will see you all in our next one. Namaste. Oh, hi, Belinda. Thank you so much for being here, love. I appreciate your time.